Are these supply issues or are they monetary issues? We're seeing inflation run hot this past little bit, and things are kind of getting blown out of proportion, all of that. At least in my personal opinion, who really knows what's going to come down the road? Inflation could get bad, and if ignored, things could get really bad because inflation could run hot for a bit. I think everything's going to be fine though, so I'm in a pretty good spirit myself, looking forward. I'm positioned for everything that's going to come. But getting back on track, I'm not too concerned about the supply issues. Things are going to get back online and everything, but we're starting to see real high inflation, and a lot of people are saying, oh, it's supply issues and that's going to come back on track, as I do believe it will. But we need something to stop for that to get back on track, and that one thing that would need to stop would be all this money printing that we're seeing today. If we keep printing all of this money and we don't produce anything because we're paying people a lot of money to stay at home, that's what all the money printing's going to, making sure people can get by as they're still staying at home. But what that ends up doing though is creating a bunch of supply issues that we see today. How does that create supply issues, you might be asking? And this is really why I think that it's monetary issues that are creating the inflation, not the supply issues, because we've paid people to stay home and they haven't produced anything. So you could print all this money, but if there's nothing to buy, well, things could probably go way up in price, and it could take a while for it to come down, because what you're going to need to do is get people back employed and get full employment, which takes a long time. And if you print money to try to say there's full employment, well, people will leave the workforce because they're getting paid to stay home, so it doesn't solve the problem. Things still wouldn't be getting built, and then inflation would still be running high because you're creating more dollars and there's actually less and less goods out there. It's not the same amount. It's not a constant amount. That's what people seem to forget about. The supply keeps going down and down and down of everything, because if you're not replacing the supply and building things, like anything, that's why everything's going up. We don't have enough of anything because we paid people to stay home. And when you pay people to stay home, they don't produce. It's really that simple. You could see a lot of this being repeated throughout a lot of different times in history. That's why you end up getting a lot of different countries going through hyperinflation. They think that they can just print money and not produce anything, and then the entire world says, hey, we don't want to take your currency. We're tired of just flipping it on the forex and devaluating your currency. You don't produce anything. We don't really trust it to have value later on. If you guys aren't producing anything, people don't want to turn their currency into yours so they could buy it. Well, your currency loses a bunch of value. It's that simple, really. You don't really need to be a rocket scientist or anything to figure that one out. That's just my thoughts and opinions on what's going on right now. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know exactly what you think on inflation being monetary issues, supply issues, what you guys think. I'd love to know. Stay positive, and check out this video of my first animation. Thanks. Bye.